Welcome to again this class. So we'll learn what are statements in the MySQL. So MySQL has four types of statements like DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. So what are statements? Statements are commands to tell the server to do some operations. These are like these are small commands like select, create, alter, drop. These are primary language statements and used to define the database structure and manipulate the data. So let us see in our workbench how these commands look, and let us execute some commands of DDL, DML, and DCL. What is DDL? DDL nothing but data definition language commands. DML is data manipulation language commands, and DCL are data control language commands. And TCL are transactional control language commands. So TCL commands are not in the scope of this course. So I'm not going to touch on those commands. Now we will learn data definition language commands, data manipulation language commands, and data control language commands. So what are there in data definition language commands? As the name suggests, it defines the data, or it defines the structure of the table or structure of the database. So data definition language commands are like create, alter, truncate, and drop. So it defines the structure or creates the structure, alters the structure of the table or database, or drops the structure or data or table or database. So let's go to our workbench and see how the workbench looks, and so execute some commands. So once you open this MySQL workbench, you will be like this. So in the left hand side, you see these are schemas. So here I already created some databases like JK, Project 3, and SYS. SYS system created schema. I already created JK and Project 3 databases. So let's create database. Now we have to give the name of the database you want to create. Like let's give this as a new DB. Now to execute this command, you have to press this button or shift enter, control enter to execute this command. Now you can see by refreshing this left hand side, you can see that a new database has been created. So you can see that out I have a new database is created. This is the first line of execution. When you execute again, control enter, you will see that can't create database. Why? Because already new DB has been created. So MySQL follows uniqueness. So once the database has named new DB, you can't create another database with the same name. Similarly with the tables also. Once you created the table with the name, and you can't create the table with another same name. So now to overcome this, so what happens is this, it stops the execution. You can see here, green tick mark is successfully executed. Red color cross tick mark is it stopped the execution of this. But when you are writing a program, so you want to execute all the commands. You didn't want the flow to be broken. What we'll do now? You don't know whether this new DB database is there or not in your database, in your SQL database. Now, how can you solve this problem is by writing if not exists. Now, by writing this, if not exists, if now control enter, see, now you will get the warning. Yellow sign of board. You will get the warning that cannot create new database, but it follows the next step of execution. So now you understood that red tick mark executed fully, cross tick mark breaks the execution. And when you don't want to break that execution and also want to execute another set of commands in the program, you have to give if not exists when you don't know that this database actually exists or not. Then it just gives the warning and it goes to the next statement to execute. Now let us look at first command of create command, data definition language create command. So as I said, data definition language is nothing but we have to define the structure. We have to define or modify the structure or truncate the structure or completely drop the structure. So data definition language is to define the structure. So in this we have create, alter, truncate, and drop commands. Now let us execute this create command and see how we can see in our workbench. Now you know that this database, new DB has been created. Now you can see that new DB by clicking this arrow. In tables, you don't have any tables. Now just we have to create the table. Create table. Now give a table name, student. You have given the table name, student. Now I'll give you, when you want to give the table name with 2 words, you have to use the delimiter underscore. Only underscore works, or else you have to give to complete 2 words as a single word. Underscore data. Now you have to give the column names, what you want in this table, which columns do you want? You have to define those columns. Let's define as roll number. Now you have to define which data type this roll number is, whether it's integer, character, or var character, string. So roll number is integer, int. Now you can also specify how many characters you want, how much length of the roll number you want, whether it's two-digit roll number, 3-digit roll number, or 4-digit roll number. To do this, you have to give it in brackets, comma, and student name. Name is varchar. Name length should be 20 characters. And student address should be varchar. Let it be 50 characters and close with semicolon, close parenthesis and semicolon. Now execute this command using control enter. Now you can see there is an error saying that no database created, select the default DB to use create command. Now we haven't used which database. SQL is telling that where do I need to create this? Here you have lot of databases like JK, NewDB, Project 3, SYS. So that SQL doesn't understand where to use this. So for that, you have to use command, use new underscore DB. Once you executed this command, this new DB is highlighted. Now, meaning that we are working with this database. You can see that new DB is highlighted with bold. Now we are working with this database. Now you can execute this command now. Control enter or this. You can see that here you had an warning sign saying that integer display width is depreciated and will be removed in a future. To eliminate this problem, we have to give big int. What is the difference between big int and this thing? Is nothing but now it's saying that student table is already exists because we have already this line of code is already executed, but it gave the warning that integer display width is depreciated. Let's refresh. Let's see whether the table has already executed. Yeah, the table has there with 3 columns: roll number integer, name as varchar, address as varchar. This is the first command in data definition language commands, create table. Let's move to the next command, that is alter table. So alter table is used to alter the existing table. So in this alter table, we can add new column or remove new column, rename a column, or we can specify some constraints to the column like primary key or null, not null values, unique. These are some of the constraints we can add to the column or attributes. So let's execute alter command. Now we want to add a new column to this existing table, like we have created student table, right? Student underscore data. So for that, we have to use alter and table name. Alter table name student underscore data colon. So what we have to do? Which column we have to alter? You have to write that. Or if you want to add, we have to use add as another element. So we will add some column to this table. Let's add. Now add student blood group. Let's define which data type it is. Varchar. How much of length? 2. Close it with semicolon. enter. Now see that this command has been executed properly. Let's see, let's refresh this schema and let's see what we have in the columns. So see, blood group has been added. So for with alter, we can do with the rename also. Alter table student underscore data. So you can modify, right? You can use modify also. You can modify the existing table, right? Modify. So we had given name as 20, address as 50 characters. Some people's are addresses more than 50 characters. So in the future, it will be problem. So we have to modify it. So modify address, address column with varchar 100. Now the address column can take characters of up to 100. We can see here. Refresh this and student data. See, varchar 100. Another way of using this alter table is to rename the column, existing column. So in rename, what happens is it deletes the old column and creates the new column with the new name. So for that alter, whether it's small or capital, it doesn't matter. Table student underscore data. For rename, we have a change command. Like we want to rename it, right? We can't we have to change what, which column name we can change. Roll number to roll number old to number, etc. We are getting. So we have to give the data type like integer 10. Now you have it has been executed successfully. Next command is so truncate command. So in this we have to what the truncate command says is truncate table name. You can truncate table or also you can truncate let's truncate table itself. Student underscore data and colon semicolon. When you execute this, student data has been deleted. So let's see what, let's refresh this. Now the data in the table, right, has been created and has been deleted, but the structure which we created doesn't delete. To delete the whole complete table, we have to use drop command. Drop student underscore data semicolon table. When you execute this, control enter. Now the student underscore table is not there in tables. Refresh. So there is no table in the tables column. So that's it for today. Let's see in tomorrow's class some data manipulation language commands.